Okay. So, yeah, the Griffin would definitely be awesome, and I think that the Griffin would be a more plausible enemy for Godzilla than, say, like a space monster. Um, because first of all, it'd be easier to connect with the Godzilla, and then also you could make it a more diverse creature with more animal parts of it. Like I loved the bat aspect on the creature of the Griffin. I love that. That looks so cool.
Yeah, me too. I thought that was just a brilliant idea to add to that creature. And that's actually what I would expect a monster to look like, who's called the Griffin. I'd expect it to look like some sort of a bat creature.
Yeah. Have you ever seen you've seen Godzilla versus Biollante?
Yeah. I have all the films.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just making sure because there's one scene, there's two scenes in that movie where they bring up the Chimera, which of course was a Greek monster. And when I saw the design for the Griffin, that's what was in my head when the characters in that movie brought up comparing Godzilla to a Chimera, and I was like, wow, that looks exactly what I pictured. And I think that would be very ironic if you had those two fight in a movie, since the Griffin in the original '94 script was so similar to what a Chimera is, that it definitely would be ironic, because Godzilla's kind of a modern day Chimera, being a mix of all these different monsters. Go. So yeah, the Chimera would definitely look like the Griffin, and it would have been an awesome fight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't know if that's a big coincidence, but like both the Griffin and the Chimera come from like ancient mythology. Chimera comes from Greek, and the Griffin, I forgot where he comes from, but some type of mythology.
Yeah, I mean the Griffin was, it wasn't just like I think it sounded like I think it was I think it showed up on a lot of like English emblems or European emblems. It was a creature of kind of strength.
This is some European, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, for the legendary figure film, like I wouldn't mind seeing like the Griffin in this film, and I'm sure if they would have used them for the first American Godzilla film, I think it would have been great.
Yeah.
It would have been a formidable enemy, and it would have done great on special effects as well.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I have to give to the 98 Godzilla, I mean the CG effects weren't that bad. They looked pretty lifelike.
Yeah, definitely. That one, I have to agree. The CGI was very great for a film of its time. There's some films from that era that the CGI is completely bad. There's this film from 2000 called Dungeons and Dragons.
That movie's horrible.
The CGI is completely bad.
Yeah. I actually think that Jurassic Park looks almost as good, if not better, than movies like Transformers that are from today.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the main strength of movies like Jurassic Park is that it's not all CG. Like, they use a lot of, like, animatronics, too, to characterize the dinosaurs.
Like, animatronics or robotics, like, it's something that, Guillermo del Toro often uses, like he used in Hellboy.
Exactly, yeah. I actually didn't mind hearing... Remember that news that came out a few months back where, everyone thought that Gareth Edwards was going to get booted off the project and they were going to bring on Guillermo del Toro. And while I think that sticking with Gareth Edwards was the smart move, I don't think Guillermo del Toro would have made a bad Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
I mean, if
he's making a monster film of his own now. Like, he's doing Pacific Rim, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah, that sounds very cool, too. I want to jump back to Godzilla '94 really quick, because, one thing that I think it was in the graphic novel version. I don't know if this was in the original script for the movie, because truthfully I haven't read the whole thing. I've read a lot of summaries though. But in the graphic novel version, I think Godzilla's atomic breath changed color over time. So what I wanted to ask you was, would you rather prefer seeing a red atomic breath or a blue atomic breath?
I would prefer seeing the blue, because that's the original Godzilla's traditional color of his atomic breath.
Yeah.
And I think they should just keep it. When I think of red, I think of the Burning Godzilla and Godzilla 2000.
Yeah.
So I think he's the blue. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
No, his atomic breath doesn't change in Godzilla 94. It never says in the script that it changes color and whatnot. It stays blue.
Yeah. I mean, I just remember hearing somewhere in the graphic novel that it started out as red and then it kind of got to blue as Godzilla got stronger. And it was a similar idea. Have you been reading the Kingdom of Monsters comics that have been coming out from
Oh yeah, definitely. I have I have 4 issues, as a matter of fact. I still haven't gotten the King Ghidorah Batra issue yet, but yeah, I've been keeping up with that. Yeah.
I think that in the first issue, doesn't he doesn't start out with atomic breath. He starts out just normal, and then when the president of the United States, who's supposed to be standing in for Obama, launches the nuke at him, and that gives him his atomic breath.
Yeah. He doesn't start up with any atomic breath at all. He has none. And then once they drop the nuke on him, that's where he receives it, which I thought was a pretty, good and bad. Because that's actually a very genius way of how to reinvent his atomic breath thing.
Yeah, totally.
But also bad because Godzilla he's a mutated dinosaur, and he became that way by nuclear radiation. And in the comic book, he was already like that prior to his mutation.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Godzilla just came out of the sea looking like Godzilla. After they dropped the nuke on him, nothing changed other than he had received atomic breath.
Okay, that I don't like because
yeah.
I think it was around the time when Toho made Return of Godzilla or Godzilla 1985. I think there was another American remake that they were planning. I don't remember exactly what it was called. I think it was just... And,
another American Godzilla film, you mean?
Huh?
Another American Godzilla film, you mean?
Yeah, there was another one that was planned in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. As a matter of fact, we all know that this movie's definitely going to come out as 3D. So,
yeah, totally. That's pretty much a guarantee.
So, a 3D Godzilla film, an American one, as a matter of fact, has been in production since the 80s, as a matter of fact. Back in 1980 or 1982, Steve Miner received the rights from Toho to produce a 3D Godzilla film.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, yeah.
He had their blessings, but he couldn't find any backers to finance the film. Because at the time, the studio thought that Godzilla, a feature film about Godzilla made from a Hollywood studio, they thought it wasn't worth the money because they thought it was a children's film. So,
well, with terror...
And it just lay dormant until the rights expired. Then it was picked up again by Sony in 1992.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. However, Steve Miner managed to hire, a few concept artists to draw out the concept designs for Godzilla and the action sequences that would follow, the 3D action sequences, as a matter of fact. And he hired a writer to write a script, which is unavailable at the time. You can only find the plot line of that film.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Road and Roots. And that's it. I mean, I've been trying so hard to find the script for at the time it was called Godzilla King of the Monsters in 3D film.
Yeah, that's the title I heard.
I couldn't find such a script. I believe it's long. But yeah.
Yeah,
However, as a Godzilla film, I don't think that would have been a great Godzilla film, because the basic plot was the same as Gorgo and Gappa. It was about Godzilla rising out of the sea
and losing its kid.
And his main goal was to find his son, who had been kidnapped by humans.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been good, but when we were talking about Kingdom of Monsters before, that reminded me of it because I think in that script, Godzilla wasn't mutated by radiation. I think the idea was that he was always like that, and the species of dinosaurs he came from had like some kind of internal radiation in them. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I just don't want Legendary to do anything like that, Like I don't want them to take away his atomic origins. I think that he should be a normal dinosaur and then get hit with the bomb, and that's what turns him into Godzilla. Because otherwise, he doesn't seem very unique to me in that way. Because that means that we're like hundreds of other ones back then, you know?
Right.
Um,
Um,
Also, if you look at the concept art that you mentioned before, didn't that design kind of bring about, like, didn't it kind of look like Zilla a little bit?
um, from some certain angles it does, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look 100% like Godzilla. The Steve Miner Godzilla, there's one particular concept drawing. It just doesn't look too much like Godzilla. It looks like a combination of a lizard and a seahorse. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but...
No, I don't think I've seen that one, but the ones I've
Godzilla,
seen, yeah.
There's this, and there's this other art where you see Godzilla in front of Alcatraz Island, and he's leaping towards some sort of helicopter.
That I've seen.
That was some sort of a 3D effect.
Yeah, that I've seen.
There's some drawings where he does not look like Godzilla at all.
Yeah.
He looks more like a T-Rex, like
Absolutely.
just a standard T-Rex. So I'm kind of glad they didn't fall through on that Godzilla.
Yeah. So I guess what else we should talk about is kind of I forgot about it. I was thinking about it when we had the break. How do you think that this movie should have Godzilla be previously established, like before the movie opens, or do you think that this should in the film should be his first appearance in the world?
I believe it should be his first appearance in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The Millennium series already has done that establishment. You know, each film has connected into the first film, to the 54 Godzilla,
Yeah.
and ignored the events that happened between 1955 and 1995, and just started a whole fresh new Godzilla after the 54 Godzilla. So,
Yeah.
I think this should be a whole new origin story, like what they did with Batman, and kind of like reintroduce Godzilla to Western audience.
Yeah.
The Western audiences, they think negative of Godzilla. They think it's something of a children's film. They
Yeah.
don't understand the true embodiment that Godzilla bestows in that nuclear devastation. So it would be great to reintroduce Godzilla with an origin story to Western audiences, to show them, not exactly like a remake, but just reboot the character by reintroducing the origins of him to a new generation that has been misunderstanding this creature for the longest time.
Yeah. I kind of felt that he should be known but not worldwide. I thought that there should be like legends of him like there in the original. Like that it wouldn't have just been he was created recently before the movie opens. Like I think that he should have been around for a while, but only recently has kind of started to become more known. Like I thought a cool idea would to kind of open on Odo Island and redo that location because we haven't seen that since '54. And well, you saw flashbacks of it in GMK, but and I think in Mechagodzilla, against Mechagodzilla as well. But my point is that I think that he should be an established legend under the moniker of Gojira, and then he makes his first appearance, and the legends are proven true, and I just think I think it'd be kind of I don't know, I just don't think that he should be kind of bang created right before the movie opens, unless it takes place in the 50s, which I don't think they should do.
Right.
Yeah, because I heard that.
Speaking of keep going.
I just have one more thing to say. I've heard that some people want to see it taking place in the 50s. I mean, very minority. But I don't think that's a good idea, especially since they're trying to make this movie appeal to a wider audience. I think that's going to restrict it more, definitely.
Yeah, if it takes place in the 50s, then it would be nothing else but a remake.
Absolutely,
and,
yeah.
Legendary Pictures, there's some people who are mistaking this for a remake. This is not a remake. This is a reboot of the character.
Precisely.
They're simply relaunching the franchise. Toho is giving Hollywood a second chance at their take at Godzilla.
Yeah.
And they're putting the Japanese Godzilla in an American city. So yeah, I don't like the idea of the film taking place in the 50s.
Yeah, I don't either.
But speaking of special appearances, another Legendary Pictures film that I like And the
Mhm.
scene where the Kraken appears for the first time is the way I would want Godzilla to appear.
Just rising out of the water in a really epic fashion. Yeah.